This is not a pizza pie.
We need a 98-year-old.
I mean, in my personal life, maybe, but not in the show.
Oh, look at him.
Snow on the roof, fire in the furnace. Three, two. Pizza is arguably the most popular food on planet Earth. In fact, there are 73,333 different pizzerias in the United States alone. And yes, I had to look it up. I can't possibly have figures like that on immediate recall. Who do you think I am? But with 1,000,001 slices in this city, how do you know where to go, what to look for, how to order, how to eat, and what not to do? It's what I'm here for. Today, we're gonna check out an OG legend for Sicilian squares back in Brooklyn. We're going to hit a coal oven icon that serves up one of NYC's oldest pies, and we're going to try one of the absolute best Neapolitan pizzas outside of Italy. But where would any NYC pizza exploration be without showing love to the OG slice shop? And that's where we are right now at Luigi's Pizzeria. Look at this sign here for a second. Do you realize that these guys are putting that money that would go into a fancy glitzy sign back onto the plate? And that's just one of the things I'm gonna teach you to look for. So let's go inside. Let's get a slice and a Coke, come on. Oh, don't get that. I was looking and sounding really cool up till then. I always look for shakers with like a ton of fingerprints on them. They're busted up top. Why? Because they see traffic. Why do they see traffic? Because people are buying the slices. Now, one thing, put your hand on the glass. It's cooler here. This is hot. That's a fresh pie. The other thing is, if you look carefully, depending upon how soon it comes out of the oven, you'll actually see condensation form on the very top of the glass. That's the freshest pie you got. Oh yeah. Tossing the dough, very good sign. Now another thing is this, no rack. Usually you'll see some pizzas made on a wire rack. It makes it a lot easier to remove the pizza, to cook the pizza, but it also connotates a slightly lower skill set. It's a lot harder to do what he's doing. How you guys doing today?
Hey, how you doing, brother?
Good. Can I just get like one cheese slice, like a hot cheese slice?
Yeah.
And a little crispy.
Yeah.
You order your steak, rare, medium rare, well done. You know you can order your pizza to temperature, and a good pizzaiolo like Gio, he's got your back. You want it just warmed up? Okay, but that's what you get when you have someone who understands the dough, understands the oven. A New York slice is always made in what's called a deck oven. Equal bits of convection and contact with the hot surface. So you get a little bit of a toasted feeling while it's actually baking all of those ingredients and melting the cheese with the warm air surrounding the pie. How important is it to develop a relationship with your local pizzaiolo?
Never anything wrong with saying hello. That breaks the ice.
Always.
A hello is the...
Pop
it
me
just
that.
breaks the ice and making me say, oh, this person's a decent human being. Not walking in and say, give me a slice. Give me a slice, I like to give you. No, could I have a slice? Sure, hello, can I have a slice, please? My God, you're gonna get served like a king.
You're a legend. Thank you so much.
Thank you, always a pleasure.
Thank you for keeping the always alive, the best.
Thank you.
New York Slice 101, regular mozzarella, not fresh. The sauce has to have herbs in it. Oftentimes the dough will have fat in it to temper it. The slice should be larger than the plate itself. It should have a nice crack at the crust, but the crust should actually bend more than break. And you want to have a sound kind of like this. Please tell me we got that. Oh, I got the thumbs up from audio. Damn, Gio, this fire. Little things I look for. Number one, your hand should always have a faint coating of almost dust or flour. That's because if they don't use a rack, they have to use flour on the pizza peel. Two, the crust should give you a little bit of a crisp and a little bit of a tear. Like that. And to me, the ultimate test, you want to eat the crust. All right, so we've covered the OG New York classic slice shop. Delicious. But there's another type of New York slice that we cannot forget, the beloved Sicilian Square. For that, we're gonna stay in Brooklyn to a place that I've been going to my whole life. Let's go to Spumoni Gardens, y'all. Come on, sir, you're good. Yeah, no, I told him, I said, let these guys get pizza.
Thank
I
you.
can't stand in the way of you guys eating your pizza. No worries. It always feels like cheating when I film a segment like this because this is a place I go to anyway. And if you're from Brooklyn and you don't go here, I don't really think you're truly from Brooklyn. This is L&B Spumoni Gardens. What's great is it's for everybody. It's for community. You see families, you see couples, the young and the old. I came here with my dad after Little League games. In fact, just off camera, my mom is here today. This is a place that exists in the mythology of the food lovers of Brooklyn and specifically the pizza lovers of Brooklyn. They're known for their iconic Sicilian slices, their unbelievable spumoni. Nice glasses, by the way, homie. Love them. You know what? Less talk, more pizza. Let's teach you some L&B pro moves. Come on. Come on, long line, we gotta wait, come on.
You're coming back for the OG pizza, huh? The best square in Brooklyn. Phil Grimaldi, relative of L&B Spumoni Garden. These are my cousins. Come here, enjoy it. We have the best square in Brooklyn.
What's your pro move for L&B?
100% fresh pie. I want
So you
hot
want right out of the oven?
Yes, I will stand online until the fresh pie comes out.
Do you tell them, like if you're online, you'll go, listen, I'll just stand here till the pie comes
They
out?
know me so well that they already know I'm gonna say it. They're like, wait for the next one.
Salute. How about you? Did you teach her that skill?
Yeah.
Are you a corner, are you an edge, or are you a middle?
Oh, I'm a middle guy. I love the sauce. I love it dripping.
Yeah, how long you been coming here?
Well, I'm 73 years old.
You look great.
From about 11, 12 years old. It was probably about 35 cents a slice, or maybe a quarter at the time.
Really?
Really.
Corner, edge, or middle?
The corner.
Why corner?
I like to crush, and I never use a fork or knife.
No, there's over 2,000 pizzerias in New York. What is it about L&B then?
Duplicated, but not the same.
Often imitated, never duplicated. My
100%.
rules.
Brooklyn till I die. All roads lead to Brooklyn. Don't forget
Sure.
that.
This is not a pizza pie.
This is a 98-year-old woman.
I mean, in my personal life, maybe, but not in the show.
Oh, look at him.
Snow on the roof, fire in the furnace.
Long-time customer?
3 months, I'll be 99.
God bless you.
Mazel. This is not a pizza pie. This is a half tray. An important distinction to know when ordering here at L&B. These are not slices, these are squares. If you order a slice, you're gonna get a triangular thing from a round pie. And to me, that'd be like going to the Louvre and looking to see the painting of the Mona Lisa's accountant. It's not the same thing. You gotta realize this is an upside down Sicilian. So you might look at this and go, there's no cheese on it? There is, but the cheese is underneath. Why is that important? The cheese forms a barrier so the sauce doesn't make the crust soggy. And there are 3 distinct kinds of squares you can get at L&B. The corner, you get crust on both sides. A lot of people love it for the handle, and it has a delicious, delicious crunch. The edge, also sort of lauded for its handle, but you really get that beautiful pillowy characteristic. And for me, the veritable filet mignon of an L&B Sicilian is the middle. 0 crust, all killer, no filler. I've always been a middle guy, but now I'm being sold on this idea of the edge as handle. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you a true Brooklyn classic, me. But other than that, the L&B Square Sicilian. Oh my God. Right off the rip, L&B is singular. There is no other square slice like it that I have had anywhere. You'd be doing a disservice if you didn't look at that. Now you see how beautiful that crust is. As thick as it is, the only thing that you really taste is this little potato chip crust on the bottom that comes from those wonderful trays that they have. If you watch, when they actually put the trays of Sicilian in, they sit kind of on almost a little stone tray. You get a little bit of the direct heat like you might in a brick oven, but because there's air circulating underneath the pie and over it, you get a crisp crust, tender interior, and evenly cooked ingredients. I mean, even just think about it. Using pecorino romano on it, you don't have to add salt. So don't add salt. Don't.
And you don't bend square.
Ew.
You bend round, but not square.
How dare you? The greatest, most tender dough. It's super airy, super light, and you can see it compresses quite a bit. You can see it's almost like the Tempur-Pedic pizza pillow. There are other Sicilian squares. There is one L&B.
Hey, Adam, what's going on? How we doing?
I was gonna stand up. My mother told me to stand.
No, sit down.
All right. She's standing over there. She's got her right cross like a Guatemalan middleweight.
She's watching and she's ready for action.
She's ready for pizza.
Yeah. What's going on? You like the pizza?
I know some of the history, but I think it's better to come from you. So let's talk about the basics.
Okay.
L&B were not two people. It was one person's initials, right?
Right.
So whose initials?
Ludovico Barbati, LB.
And who was he in your family?
Grandpa, my father's father.
That was your grandpa?
Yeah.
I don't know. I never knew that. I thought it was like a much more distant relative.
No, we're not that old yet, but we're getting there.
You are a fox. Stone cold, I tell you. Something that Philly said to me, you never fold a square.
No, no, no. How you gonna put it in your mouth?
And also, you never order a topping on a square, right?
I wouldn't. But that, you know, people do
Do people do it?
When you get a half, somebody wants a little action, huh? Give me a little pepperoni, give me a little, you know, they gotta make everything to the next level. They have to.
What is it that makes L&B one of the most beloved and respected pizza institutions in all of New York?
I think it's the whole atmosphere. It's never one thing. Nothing's ever one thing. It has to be the perfect storm. Like a volcano and those stuff. Not volcano, like a tornado. It has to be the perfect storm. It has to, the people, the atmosphere, the family, the tradition.
It's almost like a family barbecue. Like it's almost like
it's
sitting
family.
down.
They come, they're so happy they're together, they're blabbering away, they're eating. Those are the best things in life. Eating, your family. This becomes part of their heritage. They love it. Otherwise, they wouldn't come back.
Well, thank you for being part of my life, part of my history. Brooklyn.
It's the least I could do for society.
Now that we've finished the Square Sicilian, it's time to explore coal oven pizza, and we're going to an icon, one of the oldest pies in New York, John's of Bleecker Street. And I'm gonna meet up with my man, Scott Wiener. He is, I kid you not, a pizza scholar. Didn't have that major at my college, lucky bastard. This is phenomenal. Pro move, don't miss the Spumoni. And don't turn that into a GIF. I didn't like the way I ate that.
You know this place.
The Temple of Coal Oven in New York, of
Yeah.
course.
There's nothing like it, you know. The booths, the names etched into the walls.
This is the actual oven though, right?
Yeah, dude.
Is this the OG one from 38?
Dude, this oven, probably from the late 20s. So the coal is in that right-hand corner, right by the front of the
Down
oven.
there.
Yeah, do you see how there's like a little opening?
Yeah.
So that's where the ash drops down. So the way you would fuel up the oven is you take a shovel full of the coal, you stick it on top of a metal grate, and that metal grate allows air to kind of flow through the coal, and it allows spent coal to drop through.
I love talking to you, but I would love to eat with you. Should we go to the dining room, grab a
dude,
table?
I got a table for us.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, Joe.
No.
Dude, you know I understand.
So garlic is called essence?
Yeah. Joey, what do you call garlic?
Essence.
What, is there a reason why it's
I
called
think
essence?
that's just a traditional term for everybody in the neighborhood. They knew to
Essence.
refer to garlic as essence.
Is that like a code just for John's or other pizzerias use this?
I've never been to any other place that said that. Even at Arturo's, which is like 4 blocks away, you say essence, no idea what you're talking about.
Wow.
So that's like a little secret code here at John's. And then they know that you're legit, and they'll, you know, serve you with an extra smile.
Tell me a little bit about coal oven, because the most reductive thing you can find on the internet is super high heat, makes the crust crispy, but doesn't overcook the toppings. But what makes coal oven such a special way to cook pizza?
Well, the funny thing about it is that coal was originally being used only because it was cheap. Not because it was good at cooking anything, it was a cheap alternative to wood. What coal does is it dries out the pie, which is why places like John's and most, if not all, coal-fired places are gonna invert the toppings and do sauce on top of cheese. The dying breed pre-World War II New York-style pizza was this.
May I serve you?
Oh, I would love it, but only if you do it the right way, which is not happening
Show me the
yet.
right way.
You get this problem where the cheese is sticking and the crust maybe are stuck, but if you go in and do a little wrist twist,
Yeah.
and then do a snag and drag, you don't drop anything, you don't embarrass yourself like you're about to do. You also got some brick lines on your slice. I don't know if you noticed this, but you get brick lines so you know that this was on the crossover section. Hell yeah.
Cheers,
Enjoy
Sante,
it.
Cendani.
Garlic is like the sleeper hit topping.
I love the sauce on top. When you bite in, It's a rush of acid, a rush of sweetness, and the crunch and that perfuminess of the garlic. And there's just something to that. It's not a cracker, it's not St. Louis, but there is something about crunching through those little char bubbles. And, you know, and I love that you pointed out the brick line that you get here. Are coal oven places almost always no slices, whole pie joints?
John's has a big sign outside, no slices.
Right on the awning.
Yeah, but people every day, every 2 seconds walk up, can I get a slice? So they don't do pizza by the slice because it's such a hot and dry oven. You can't physically reheat a slice in there.
Is it true about what time of day you go? Like, are the early pies considered inferior? Tell me a little bit about that.
You don't want to be the first pie of the day.
Why don't you want to be the first pie of the day?
Because the oven floor is probably too hot. You got to wait till they temper the floor of the oven. So if they don't bake maybe 4 or 5 pizzas, you're going to get one of those first few that could have light spots, dark spots. They haven't yet figured out the oven for the day. You know, you don't want to get the first pie of the day, but you also don't want to come in between around 4 and 6 o'clock is when they're going to shut down the oven to refuel. It's cold. They can't refuel while they're cooking.
Because it'll staunch the flame too much?
And also you're going to get schmutz all over the pizza.
There is something kind of beautiful and primal about that.
It's like surfing. Like, you got to learn the rhythm of the pizzeria, which is why being a regular is the best pro move.
It seems that there's always another pro move to learn if you really want to deepen your pizza game.
So I heard you're meeting up with Frank Pinello.
Una pizza Napoletana for a Neapolitan style. Ooh, that face is good.
Yeah, because there's nothing like Una pizza Napoletana is a unicorn.
Really? How so?
I mean, there's nobody else doing Neapolitan pizza the way that he does. It's the simplest, like the most elegant, yet the most like true to nature pizza, maybe in the city, maybe in the world.
Absolute pizza legend right here. If you don't know, now you know. Pinello, the man who runs Best Pizza, is accompanying me to eat what a lot of people are considering the best pizza. What are we expecting here? What's happening here?
I mean, this is hollow ground. You know, Anthony is one of the best that's ever done it, in my opinion. His approach to pizza is just beautiful, and you know, you're not going to be disappointed.
All right, lead on. Let's do it. The thing that's so incredibly crazy is to hear Frank say, I can't believe you're letting us back here. So for you to say that, I feel like, oh, I've been training with Obi-Wan and now we both get to meet Yoda. This is so cool. I didn't date a lot in high school, don't judge me.
Neither did I.
The way he treats pizza, it's like, it's another level. And so I love being around him. I love soaking up everything that he says. And so I'm just super stoked to be back.
I don't really think of what we do as like strict Neapolitan. It started as that. It was definitely my plan when I was 15 years old and getting into all this. It's kind of evolved into its own thing. I mean, I think it's round like in Naples. It's cooked in a wood-fired oven, but I pull inspiration and ideas and techniques from like a lot of different things.
But when you could do the classics well, that's when you can become abstract.
That's true. No, I feel like that with all professions.
Right.
Like you don't become John Coltrane until you learn how to read music and play an instrument. Then you start playing free jazz.
How long does it take start to finish to make a pizza in your oven?
Like 2 minutes max.
Obviously, I recognize the shape, but is this, again, a break from a traditional Neapolitan oven, or is this
is
the real deal?
This is like as traditional as you get. The idea with this pizza, with this oven, with the dough, is to cook it as fast as possible with it still being fully cooked. And when it's perfect and on a good day, it's like light with like a hint of crispiness around it, but still like soft. It's like a really perfect balance.
There is a line outside. I was not sure unless this was Pirates of the Caribbean or the DMV, but you have a dinner rush. Thank you, legend, for taking the time. Oh, man.
Yeah, look at that. So we have a beautiful classic margarita pie, and we have a marinara with long hot peppers on them.
I've never seen like this puffy, almost like hula hoop crust before.
What some people say is that when the pizza hits the table, it's good to give it a minute to kind of rest. Sometimes it's coming out piping hot, and you know, the cheese or whatever toppings are on it can kind of slide around a little bit. Yeah, so you kind of want it to kind of sink in, but I also believe you got about 2 to 3 minutes to eat a pizza at its pinnacle. He even has like the proper silverware. Like this knife, the way it's curved, it makes it easy to cut it. Serrated, you know? It's not like a fucking butter knife you see sometimes. You say to yourself, why isn't this pizza cut? You know what I mean? Why did it come out whole? And we would have to really ask Anthony, but what I think it is that to take like a roller and run it through this pizza, you're gonna take a little bit of integrity out of that beautiful crust. So I always kind of take a look at it. I love like to see underneath that it's cooked well. What I like to do is kind of get over here by the crust and just kind of like smell it.
You smell yeast. I mean, you smell yeast, and I think that the mozzarella gives this milky butteriness to the smell.
Yes. And another thing, so he's cooking in a wood fire oven with no gas, right? It's just all wood. So when it cooks in that wood oven, there's a lot more moisture in the oven, right? Like a New York slice place reheats it in a gas oven, the pizza will crack right down the middle when you fold it, right?
But you want it to bend
But
like
this
that.
is bending. It's almost like a newspaper. You fold a newspaper, it bends, you know?
That's so true. I never thought of it, and that's because of the moisture.
I mean, it feels perfect. The temperature is nice. It's time to go in, man.
Let's go in, man.
Salud.
Salud.
This is so fun.
I apologize to my rabbi, but sweet baby Jesus, that's good. Oh my God. There's a purity to it. Good mozzarella, a very little bit of basil, but somehow the fragrance carries throughout. Usually the dough is like a melted cheese conveyance vehicle. I'm just keeping it a buck with you. The dough is one of the most interesting flavor profiles of the whole damn pizza.
And that is really special. You know, that's really special. He's not covering up anything. As a matter of fact, the dough is shining. And, you know, we're talking about pro tips, right?
Right.
If you go to a Napoli-style pizzeria, they could miss really bad. And this is what I mean. When you're eating this style of pizza, if it's not fermented properly, or they're not using the right dough, or the flour's cheap, this is like eating a bowl of glue. So one thing I do right away when I bite this, I think about like, how is it dissolving in my mouth? Is it easy to chew? Is it easy on the jaw? Because I know if it's easy on the jaw, it's been fermenting, and it's gonna be easy on my stomach. A lot of that breakdown has already happened. You know how Styles P is like your favorite rapper's favorite rapper? Yeah, Anthony is your favorite pizza man's favorite pizza man. You know what I'm saying?
Pizzaiolo's pizzaiolo.
Oh, well, like if you ask me who like I think the best pizza guy is, in my opinion, is Anthony. The Italians recognize him and love him, which is very rare. When the Italians come in, hey, you know, I had some Italians come into Best Pizza not too long ago, and they're like, oh, this is great, but it's not pizza. I'm like, it's not pizza. What the fuck is it then, bro? You know, but if you went to like Italy and dug up like Queen Margherita, you know, and you brought her here to Pizzeria Una and you like served her this pizza, I think she would like go to Anthony and be like, my son, you have done well, you know? He holds a torch for all of us.
Thank you, fam.
Thank you, man. I really enjoy like talking and eating with people who love food like I do, and I really enjoy this meal and spending this time with you.
Thank you, and that's what it's about, right? It's about the love, and so whether you love your local slice shop, coconut slice, little ice, coal oven, whether you want your old big Sicilian square or to go back to the motherland, get the original roots rock reggae, well, you got it right here. All the city's so nice. They named it twice, New York. And with every slice you eat, make your life forever sweet. Frank, you're a fucking legend.
My man.
This is Pro Moves, got a lot more ways. Come on, act like you've been there before. Follow the pros.